Second news for this day. Y News continues. Here are the top stories. President Rodrigo Duterte allays fears that privacy would be violated in the implementation of the National Identification System. Earlier, the president signed the Philippine Identification System Act, which aims to create a single official identification card for all citizens that interconnects various government-issued IDs. The card will only bear 13 sets of information, such as the full name and photo of the owner, blood type, place and date of birth, and the PhilSys number. More information will be stored in the PhilSys registry. The chief executive believes that the law will help in delivering efficient services, reducing corruption, curtailing bureaucratic red tape, promote ease of doing business, and strengthen financial inclusion. The president also assures that the government will protect the data contained in the PhilSys registry amid concerns of possible data breach.
There is therefore no basis at all for the apprehension about the PhilID unless, of course, that fear is based on anything that borders to illegal. If at all, the PhilID will even aid in a drive against the social menaces over poverty, corruption, and criminal issues, as well as terrorism.
Meanwhile, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority is set to implement next week its new policy banning provincial buses from plying in EDSA. According to the MMDA, the new traffic management scheme aiming to decongest EDSA will take effect on August 15, and policy violators will be fined with 2,000 pesos. Following its implementation, the agency also plans to transfer the 46 provincial bus terminals along Cubao, Quezon City to Valenzuela Interim Terminal, which will serve as the main station for buses bound for Central and Northern Luzon. The agency is also looking to open the integrated terminal in Santa Rosa, Laguna this year.
Yun talaga ang projection ng MMDA. Tanggalin yung mga provincial bus terminals sa EDSA. We're planning na dun na lang kung kakayanin.
Oil companies are set to impose a price rollback on petroleum products this week. Gasoline and diesel prices will drop by 10 to 25 centavos per liter, while kerosene prices will be reduced by 20 to 30 centavos per liter. Oil firm Petrogas already imposed a 20 centavo rollback in diesel and gasoline today. No less than the members of the consultative committee who drafted the proposed federal charter change expressed disappointment over Communications Assistant Secretary Mocha Uson's controversial video on federalism. CONCOM member Professor Edmund Thio says he was disgusted by the video, as anything that matters, the Constitution, should be taken seriously. According to CONCOM Chairman retired Chief Justice Rheena, he has no knowledge about the campaign plans of the Presidential Communications Operations Office, specifically on Uson on federalism awareness, as they have not been consulted on the said matter. But PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar clarifies that there is no official spokesperson yet for the campaign, as CONCOM has yet to finalize the matter, together with the Department of Interior and Local Government, or DILG.
Spoken to Ding Rosso kasi siya kasi yung kumausap kay Mocha. Hindi naman ako kumausap Mocha, hindi naman yung interagency yung kumausap kay Mocha. So therefore, it's not official.
In defense of the video, Uson explained on her social media account that the controversial video of her and co-host Drew Olivar was shot way before CONCOM spokesperson Ding Generoso talked to her. Uson clarified that no public funds were spent in making the video and stressed that she is neither the ambassadress nor the spokesperson on federalism. In other news, the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, is requesting for an additional 2 billion peso budget for the year 2019 during the deliberations of the House Committee on Appropriations. The COMELEC says they would need more fund for the honoraria of teachers who will serve in the upcoming elections in accordance with the Election Service Reform Act. COMELEC Chairman Sheriff Abbas explains that 150 million pesos remains in the fund for the honoraria and benefits from the barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections last May. COMELEC's proposed budget for 2019 is 10.28 billion pesos, almost 6 billion lower than last year's budget.
Kulang pa kami ng more or less nasa 2.1 billion sa ESRA. So ang proposal ng DBM nga per their letter to us is kukunin siya sa savings namin from the BSKE hanggang sa preparatory namin ng NLE for the 2018 budget.
COMELEC also requests for 854 million pesos for the conduct of a plebiscite for the Bangsamoro Organic Law. Meanwhile, the Philippine National Police or PNP welcomes a citizens group offer of 1 million peso reward for the arrest of 4 former congressmen. The camp of National AntiPoverty Commission or NAPC Chair Secretary Liza Masa, meanwhile, says the chief will not be surrendering to the authorities anytime soon. Asher Cadapan Jr. will tell us why.
The son of National Anti-Poverty Commission Chairperson Liza Maza has no idea as to where his mother is. He believes that the NAPC chief's camp will not be issuing any surrenderers fillers soon. This despite the directive of the Office of the President. Anton Maza says he last saw his mother during the President's SONA.
I hope my mom's okay wherever she is. Hindi ko po na alam kung saan siya. I hope you're doing fine and you don't have to worry about us.
Maza counsel Maria Cristina Conti says the complaint filed against the NAPC chief is flawed and has no sufficient evidence.
Una, ang pagsasampa ng kaso ay sa pamamagitan ng affidavits of several witnesses. Itong mga affidavit nito ay hindi sinumpaan sa harap ng public prosecutor ng naaayon sa batas. Ito ding mga ebidensya na naipresenta na noong 2006 at 2008 ay flimsy. Napakaliit, napakakonte at saka hindi, parang pinagtuhog-tuhog lang na circumstantial evidence.
The group also believes that the installation of House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo has something to do with this development.
If that machinery includes Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, we would not be surprised. But we cannot say exactly that she is.
On the other hand, the Philippine National Police welcomes the 1 million peso reward offer of the Citizens Crime, which will lead to the arrest of Maza, former Agrarian Reform Secretary Rafael Mariano, and the other representatives of Bayan Muna party list Saturo Campo and Teddy Casino.
Although the reward offer is not officially part of the government reward program, I must clarify that this is not a dead or alive bounty, but monetary compensation for information provided.
It can be recalled that on July 27, a court in Nueva Ecija issued a warrant of arrest against the 4 former lawmakers for the murder case filed against them in 2006 for the alleged killing of a supporter of an opposing party list. PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde calls on the 4 to surrender and face the charges against them before the NBI and the CIDG trace their whereabouts. Asher Cadapan Jr., UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The death toll in another powerful quake in Indonesia's Lombok Island is expected to rise following the 82 initial fatality report. Here's why from Kath de Maraos.
Daybreak revealed chaos and destruction across the Indonesian resort island of Lombok on Monday after a magnitude 6.9 earthquake killed at least 82 people and prompted an exodus of tourists rattled by the second powerful quake in a week. The National Disaster Mitigation Agency says the death toll is expected to rise with initial reports of hundreds injured and thousands of buildings collapsed or badly damaged. Power and communications were cut in some areas of Lombok, and the military says it is sending in a vessel with medical aid, supplies, and logistical support for the island. Lombok was hit a week earlier on July 29th by a magnitude 6.4 quake that killed 17 people, injured hundreds, and briefly stranded several trekkers on the slopes of a volcano. The Indonesian Agency for Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics reports that more than 120 aftershocks were recorded after Sunday evening's quake, whose magnitude the U.S. Geological Survey revised down to 6.9 from an original 7.0. The tremor was so powerful it was felt on the neighboring island of Bali. Dutch tourist Mark Ganbuwalba injured his knee as a stampede of diners rushed from a restaurant after the quake.
During the earthquake, we were having dinner, in the Cliff restaurant, and then I went to the toilet. And when I was there, I felt like it was like a truck passing by, but then it got really heavy, and also, yeah, the noise was crazy. So I thought, okay, this is bad, this is an earthquake. So I started running to the exit, but then everybody who was in the restaurant was also running through the exit. So it was like a big stampede.
Long lines formed at the airport of Lombok's main town, Mataram, as foreign visitors cut their holidays short.
Yeah, I just want to get out somewhere safe, somewhere I know where I'm not going to be at the risk of natural disasters. And yeah, whatever it takes, really.
The Garuda Indonesia airline is adding extra flights from Lombok to help tourists leave, and AirAsia Group CEO Tony Fernandez tweeted that the budget airline would try to lay on extra flights. Kat Dumaraos, UNTV News and Rescue.
Tourists and local head to the beaches and lakes as record high temperatures melt the Arctic Circle and blanket parts of Sweden, Spain, and Portugal. Jovic Burmas tells us why.
The Arctic Circle region is sweltering as an extreme heat wave has gripped northern Europe for more than 1 month. Rovaniemi City, Finland used to be a popular summer resort known for its cool temperatures, which rarely exceeded 20 degrees Celsius. This year, the temperature there hit 32 degrees Celsius. Local residents are unaccustomed to the extreme heat, especially when the midday sun blazes. But there is little respite as temperatures begin to soar as early as 5 in the morning and often last until midnight. Many people head to the local riverbank to cool off. The situation is similar in Sweden, where a heat wave appears to have scorched the country. Not all locals are tired of the heat though.
Yeah, but I love it actually. It's really nice. It's a good change. It's usually not warm for this long in Sweden.
Ice cream has become a bestseller as locals attempt to beat the heat. Spain and Portugal continued to battle Europe's extreme heat wave as temperatures on the Iberian Peninsula remain above 40 degrees Celsius on Sunday. In Portugal, beaches near Lisbon, including Costa da Caparica, saw thousands of beachgoers cooling off. Escaping from the extreme heat in the city while in the Spanish capital of Madrid, locals and tourists tried to cool off by having a walk in the city's Retiro Park.
So we were looking for some fresh, cool area here, but on the lake it was hotter than here under the tree. So I hope next days the heat will go down, because otherwise it is very difficult to survive.
Spanish authorities issued a heatwave warning for most of central Spain, with temperatures of over 40 degrees Celsius in some parts of Andalusia and Extremadura. 3 men died this week in Spain as a result of soaring temperatures. Jovic Burmas, UNTV News and Rescue, Europe.
A pet cafe in Tokyo has become the latest must-visit spot in the Japanese capital. Let's find out why from Leslie Lomboy.
A pet cafe called the Mame Shiba opened just recently in Tokyo, but it has become the latest must-visit spot in the said trendy fashion district, catering to aficionados of Japan's top dog. Translated as Bean Shiba, the Mame Shiba is a miniature version of Japan's popular and oldest Shiba Inu breed with origins dating back 9,000 years. The Mame Shiba, which is recognized as a breed by the Kennel Club of Japan but not recognized as a separate breed overseas, has been bred in Japan since the 1950s and is considered a rarer version of the more common Shiba Inu dog. Nearly 300 people a day queue for tickets for the Mame Shiba Cafe in Harajuku, waiting to be welcomed by 12 of the tiny dogs. The Tokyo branch opened in April 2018 following the success of the first cafe in Okayama Prefecture, opened in December 2017.
For people who are living alone or for those who have some household-related reason for not being able to keep dogs, this is a chance to interact with these pets. And because of this, there has been a big response.
One such customer was Shota Iino, who said he was happy to find a cafe that allowed him to pet dogs. While another, Sawako Fujiki, said her husband is allergic but her children love dogs.
I really like dogs. but my apartment doesn't allow pets. So I was looking for a place where I could play with dogs and found this cafe.
My husband has an allergy towards dogs and cats, so we have a pet ferret instead. But my kids love dogs and cats.
Many landlords in Japan dislike renting out properties to pet owners, and those who do often place restrictions, such as asking for higher price deposits, sometimes called pet deposits, to cover for potential damage to the home. Even for people allowed to keep dogs in densely populated cities like Tokyo, smaller dogs are preferred because homes aren't as spacious. Though some argued against the breeding of dogs in order to make them smaller, citing inbred health conditions, Ueda says the diminutive versions are better adapted to modern-day society. Leslie Longboan, UNTV News and Rescue.
And those are the reasons behind the news August 6, 2018. On behalf of Rheena Villamor-Camara and Angelo Castro III, I am William Thio. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. Good evening.